It is day 2 of the Epic Happiness Challenge. So, I guess first I want to ask, like, how did it go? Some people did talk to me and say, like, I was doing good and I slipped. Like, I just want to say, like, we all slip. I slipped last night. I'm catching a cold. I wasn't feeling good and I was just like run down, and then I went to bed, and then I started to think about some things that I have no business thinking about. So then I just went to sleep. So that's a good strategy. If you can't get out of it, go to sleep, take a nap, and it kind of, then I woke up this morning, I felt good. The funny thing is, if I could just explain to you, like, but my energy, like, I got my energy way up today, did my morning process, talked to a friend that made me laugh hysterically, and then my energy's so good. So I am sick. I don't know if I have fever. I'm starting to feel kind of sweatish, but coughing, sniffling, whatever. So it's still there, but I feel amazing. So it's not until I remember to think that I'm sick that I realize that I'm sick. That's just crazy. Yes, you did do good yesterday, girl. You did good, Latasha. I love to watch the progress. I love it because, and I like to give confirmation, because when I was doing this process, I didn't have that. So I just had to rely on my own knowing. And sometimes my energy was so scattered that I didn't know if I was just telling myself I was doing good or if I actually was doing good. So I love it when you give feedback, so I can give you feedback, and then we just love each other, right? Just love each other. So I do want to say that we're going to do experiment 2. I'm going to tell you that in a second. But please remember that this course is going to be cumulative. I used to teach in college, so this is a cumulative course, which means that it all builds. So the stuff you did on day 1, positive thoughts, positive speech, keep doing that for the rest of the 7 days, and I'm just gonna add something else to do. But it's not gonna be hard to remember. You're gonna hang out with it. So you're already conscious of your thoughts, therefore you're gonna catch yourself. It's kind of like you already know too much, and once you know, you can't go back. So don't stress about it, but just be conscious to do both of them. So today is, oh, and funny, I talked about school. Today is gratitude is directly proportional to happiness. So if you think back to algebra, don't be scared. If you think back, like when you had to do those graphs with the XY axis and you had to plot the points and whatever, when something is directly proportional, that means every time I move up one axis, like every time one axis increases, the other increases. So an increase in one is an increase in the other by the same magnitude. So your happiness is automatically going to make you feel grateful for the things that you have in your life. It just does that. And that's a great thing, because your gratitude for things increases your happiness. So let's say one day you're not there with your positive thinking, or your energy's not feeling that great. If you increase your gratitude consciously, then you automatically increase your happiness, and it makes sense. So if I'm having a tough day and I stop and think, like, what am I grateful for in my life? Count your blessings. I love my kids. I love my family. I love where I live. I love my little patio. I love my tree. Like, it just goes and goes and goes. And that is, in fact, one of the tricks that I use in my morning process. I sit down and I write, and I'll say, like, oh, yesterday this was so fun, and that was so good, and it felt fun, it felt blissful, it felt joy, and I can't believe the thing that's coming. Like, that's how it goes. And that thing builds momentum fast. So just practicing gratitude. Now, there's a few ways to do that. A gratitude journal is great. Writing things down. Or I have a gratitude jar, which I haven't played with in a while because I've just been naturally doing it. But when I wasn't, I had a big jar. It was a vase. And every day, no matter how bad my day went, I'd write one thing I was grateful for that day and drop it in the jar. And then at the end of a month, I would look at all of them so I could remember that I had things to be grateful for no matter what was going on. Another way is to practice random acts of kindness. That is so amazing. I started that a long time when I was living in Canada around 2005. And one day I just went to Starbucks, and this was before like that whole random act of kindness thing was a thing. But anyway, it was just a thought I had. I was like, I got up to the front and I was like, I want to pay for the person behind me. And I would do that just about every time I go, like if I felt inspired to do it. And then one day they stopped me and they were like, oh, you're the lady. And I was like, what lady? And they said, oh, you're the lady that starts the chain. And I was like, what chain? Like, you buy people's coffee and then they buy the other person's coffee. And sometimes it goes on for like 4 hours and the manager has to go outside and make them stop. And I'm like, why would you make them stop? So I do that. It could be simple things, just like opening a door for somebody. You would be surprised. One time I was in line at the grocery store and I had a big basket full of stuff because I have a bunch of kids. And the man behind me had like a few things in his hand and he had a toddler with him. And I was just like, hey, why don't you just go before me? And he was so struck. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, go ahead of me in the line. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, you have a little, I have a lot. Like, you have an antsy kid, go in front of me. And he was just blown away by that. The thing is, when you do those little things, it shows an appreciation for what you have, whether it be your time, your spot in line, whatever. And it also, like, you don't know where they're at that day. You don't know, like, you become someone's sign, someone's blessing. And isn't that just fucking amazing? So, yeah, I just want you to practice gratitude, whatever way you know how. And if you can't think of a way to do it, then inbox me and we'll brainstorm something. But this is one of the like key significant things. So I want you to remember that the magnitude, I don't want to try to be too, I'm going into my engineering stuff. When you increase your happiness, your gratitude increases by the same amount. And when you increase your gratitude, your happiness increases by the same amount. So if it's make a list of all the stuff that you love in your life, whatever it is, that's what you do. If you have trouble with it, just let me know. And it might be interesting to do your happiness on a scale from 1 to 10 again. So, you know, I like to do it like at the beginning of the 7 days and then after the 7 days. But if you want to do it day to day just to see for yourself, that might be a good thing. Are there any questions at all? Good, but make it gratitude focused, Latasha. Let's focus on gratitude. Let's focus on our blessings. That's going to be a really good thing. My little neighbor is here. And like today, so much stuff has happened that I'm like so grateful for. So this was the perfect day. Lily's sleeping. She's sick. He's so cute. Anyway. All right. So if we're good, we're good. If you have any questions, inbox me. I'm happy to powwow with you. Brainstorm. It's all about helping each other. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. That's going to be pretty fun too. Simple things add up, so just keep going. You're doing well. And I can feel the energy in this group picking up. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, guys. I love you all. Bye.